We talked about how you think it's aging badly.
Yeah, and so I beat it. I had only played like 4 missions or 5 missions the last time. Um, yeah, I think BO1's like actually considerably better
Hmm.
now upon replaying both in a row. Like BO2 has a lot more color and a lot more spectacle, but like the core system
Same.
stuff.
This is 3 weeks in a row now, actually. Sorry, I just it legitimately is the same thought.
All right, here's one. You know what I forgot playing BO2? Do you
What?
remember that terrible afterburner level in BO1 that led to
Yeah,
the really great boss
sure,
fight and how
sure.
annoying it was going through that?
Okay.
BO2's final mission is that. The final boss fight you have to do an afterburner mission to get to the final boss fight.
I mean, I didn't hate it. You know,
I
it
did
did.
because the final boss fight is terrible. It's
The
bad.
So I was gonna say, like, I was gonna ask you how you felt about the Lumen Sage battles, direct comparison to Jean.
They're not as good. They're way better looking, but they're not as good.
Interesting. Okay. All
You
right.
can't hit the sage out of witch time.
All right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I just I'm this is my third time saying it in a row where I'm like I think I disagree with you, but I'll have to revisit, but that's about it. We're hitting Requiem. Absolutely. We're turning around. We're getting punched with Giorno.
I'm genuinely baffled how I could have been talking about the bad final boss fight from last week if I
No, no, no,
hadn't beat
not
it
no, no,
last
no, no,
week.
not that part. It was the Lumen Sage part because I asked you about it again.
Okay.
Because I keep going to the Lumen Sage because I love it so much that I'm whenever you go, oh, I didn't like Bayo 2, my brain goes, but the Lumen Sage is so cool. So I just keep going like, yeah, but how bad was
It's a
that
lot
though?
easier to
You know?
see like the annoyances when you play it like back to back against the Jean fights and the Baldur fight from the first one.
Okay.
Like I still think like the biggest bummer about BO2 is that Rodin and the Lumen Sage are totally playable in that tag mode, but not in like the Bloody Palace equivalent.
So that's where I was actually about to go next. Let's hit a topic that hasn't been touched on. How much of that co-op stuff have you investigated and checked out?
I played a couple hours of it. Um, and God, I wish you could just play it yourself. Like, it's a really, really cool mode that playing with the CPU is just constantly annoying because the CPU is constantly interrupting what you're doing on the enemies that you're fighting. And also because there's the CPU, you can't switch weapons. Like, I wish that exact mode was there just solo.
You can't switch weapons.
No, because the memory constraints mean that the CPU is taking up the memory for their set of weapons.
Okay. Okay. I didn't remember that part. Um,
Like, and also, I also really wish you could play that mode like by yourself because I tried to play it online and fucking no one is playing that thing.
well, I wouldn't imagine, but I do. I think I mean, obviously it came way earlier than the DMC3 co-op introduction, but
Oh,
like
years and years.
yeah, but like I think I would like to hope that Bayo 3 includes something fun like that where you can just go take the what's it called? The cameo system,
Mm-hmm.
to the next level and just full on integrate co-op because you've already got, that experience with mission 17 or whatever it is, right? Like let's just go all the way with it.
Yeah, just put Bloody Palace or whatever it's called, like Angel Muspelheim Challenge or whatever the fuck,
Mhm. Mhm.
and have you select from single or co-op. That's all people really want.
And then we can get Donguri videos where
Of him playing with both characters.
well, or I was gonna either that or Donguri and Sunhai Legend both connect to the same game, and we all just
Oh yeah.
cream our pants.
Look at this cool thing you will never ever 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 do ever yourself.
God, I mean that dude. Like, I don't know if it counts as a career, but Like whatever it is that Sunhi does, where it's just like my job is to make cool combos in all video games and tweet out gifs high quality on Twitter or videos. I'm like, that's a career. If I could fucking do that as a job, I would die doing. I'd love to do that. I'd do that over this in a heartbeat. You know, so
Seems
stylish.
like the kind of thing that is very tedious.
Yeah, and we never see the all the takes of the effort it put into like setting something up. But I mean, that motherfucker put out a tweet where Virgil is doing his sword Ayajitsu kata, and while the taunt is going, he's controlling a doppelganger to deflect a fucking riot from attacking him, and he's fighting off with the doppelganger as the taunt continues. It's like, it's next level shit, man.
I wish I was good at video games like that, but I'll never be. Never, ever.
I just kind of look at that too, and this is another one of those moments where you're like, man, the people on the ground are are infinitely more in touch than the people in the tower, because it's like, how does a company not immediately hire that dude to just make their footage? I know he did official work for special edition, but I think that's the first time I heard of him being involved with like, official game combo videos or whatever capacity, because it's just like, this dude's doing the best to show off your game, and that shit goes viral because it looks incredible. Please hire them and make your game look good at the same time if the combat engine is capable of doing it. Like, it's kind of wild.
Dude put up like a fucking Final Fantasy 15 thing like yesterday that was like fucking awesome.
Right?
And I was like, I don't remember ever doing anything like that in Final the game.
He
not even one time.
He has done more to reignite my interest in revisiting Monster Hunter than literally anything I've seen or heard from.
Oh, I can't wait for Rise to come out just so I can look at them animated GIFs.
Like, his Monster Hunter ones in particular are just like, God, you make this look so good. Fuck.
Yeah, and it's always like totally wild shit. The Monster Hunter ones are like some of the most incredible to me, because they're always like, I'm looking at it and in the back of my head I'm ticking off all the special conditions that would have had to have been met for these things. So like doing like a series of emote backflips until eventually do a little slap to knock out like Basil Goose from the dive bomb in the air into a knockdown state. I'm like, okay, so you had to hit this thing within like a frame of its knockdown state, then leave it alone, then watch it do the dive bomb, then figure out exactly where it was going to dive bomb, and then start dancing like 30 seconds ahead of time. Like, Jesus fuck.
Get in midair, jump off the cliff, charge up the sword swing, come flying down right as the clash is about to hit. Like, ugh. And then if you fuck that up, you got to go set the whole thing up again, And then after you land it, don't freak out and go, yeah. Land, turn your character towards the camera, and slowly walk towards it and away from the writhing beast, Absolutely.
It's incredible. I love it. It's great. You try that Rise demo, by the way?
Not yet. I'm just going to grab the full thing.
Oh, it's good.